Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 2nd of December 2022. So stocks managed to defend the 200 MA as the VIX tumbles below 20 during yesterday's session and yields plunge, sending gold soaring. And also stocks hold post-Powell gains and bond rip into NFP on soft data. And finally, US stocks lack direction but held on to post-Powell spoils. While the NFP numbers loom. Yes, today is NFP day, and we're looking at a forecast of 200,261 for last month. So the deal is this, really. Anywhere near the 200, the market rips higher. Anything above 261, well, it should be sideways to lower. However, keep in mind they have a nasty habit of actually changing the previous figure when they have released the forecast. When they say, oh, actually we had a recount and the figure wasn't, it was actually higher, which then makes the forecast number, which if it comes out higher than 200, look smaller. So keep that in mind as well, and then it allows them to actually move the market higher. It's that sleight of hand that they use. So like I say, you forewarned is forearmed. If you're wondering why it might just rip higher and the number's actually similar, then go back and check the number half an hour later. If you go back to last month's NFP numbers in the alert, you'll see I actually covered this because I couldn't understand why the market just absolutely went vertical. And that was the reason. They changed the previous number. Lagarde speaking at, she's already spoken, 2:40 a.m. So that's over and done with. So it's average hourly earnings, non-farm pay and unemployment numbers out later today. Right, let's have a look at the market for yesterday. Sort of sideways holding, as the news item said, really. Did get above the high. But let's have a look in a bit more detail with the Dow. As you can see in the daily there, we took out yesterday's high. But we had a bit more selling around during yesterday. It was as if they were trying to hold the market yesterday. So let's have a look in a bit more detail in the 30-minute. We started by moving higher. Been sideways all morning. We got through the high and then the market was monkey hammered down. I think a few traders, knowing what's coming in the new year, took some profits and also an opportunity to sell stocks at a higher price, obviously putting some downward pressure. But with the NFP numbers later today, you can see we're trying to get back above the DP. I don't know what the market's going to do this morning. It could trade sideways to higher in anticipation or lower. Who knows? It's always a difficult one to call when you've got something as big as the NFP numbers. Some days the market just moves higher and continues higher. Some days it goes down and then it allows the market to come back. So we'll just have to play it as we see it, but it could be quiet as well. So like I say, just be warned. In the German DAX, similar picture. We've got demand again holding at that 5-bar moving average. Bit of weakness overnight though for the German DAX. As yesterday you can see the market pulling back, then trading back above the DP, then coming back 89% before trading sideways last night. The morning we've got a gap down to the 200 MA. Upside we're looking at a close above the 20, the 50, the close and the DP to get anywhere near the high, but that won't take a lot of doing. If the NFP numbers come out at 150 or 170, it will just absolutely rip to the upside, because again, now this is contrary to what you would normally get. NFP numbers, you would be looking for them to actually increase, but because we're in an interest rate rising cycle, they could do with the numbers being lower, just to say, well, we don't need to increase rates much more now, do we? We can take our foot off the interest rate pedal, as it were, and ease a bit. So, like I say, just be warned. Yesterday in the 5-minute chart, however, I didn't get to trade yesterday. I was out for most of the day. You can see that the market dropped 100 points, then back up to the 5-bar before retesting the S1, and then moving off this and slow grind, but making its way all the way back over several hours to where the market had already fallen. Lunchtime we had some news, and then the market bounced, then it came back down, and then we had the Dow open and the market sell off, and the DAX follow it. Overnight, let's just have a look in a bit more detail. We can see that we've been seeing some buybacks here with clusters of volume. trying to support the market and get it back towards the close and the 200 MA in the 5-minute chart there. In the S&P, the market at the 89% retracement still from this high to the left, down and back up, with some supply there as well. Slightly lower overnight, but again, it all depends on the NFP numbers. Yesterday, you can see we had a sell-off initially, back in the next 30 minutes, and then making its way back up. But overnight, again, gapping lower to the 50 EMA and then trying to get back towards the DP. In the FTSE, also you can see they're still above the 5-bar moving average, still the strongest of all of the markets at the moment, and at the moment still sitting above the 5-bar moving average. As you'll see, even though we moved down yesterday 50-60 points, a gap down overnight filled the gap. We're at the close and low. Market coming off that low overnight, which you can see there as well. Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see how the stock markets interpret the NFP numbers at lunchtime. Meanwhile, in the currencies, GBP, JPY, the market back to 62% there, also closing below the 50 EMA and down on the overnight as well. After moving up yesterday, the market then sold off during the afternoon, and in Asia, the market down at the moment. In the pound, another good day to the upside as the dollar sank, and you can see there through the 200 MA, which is very important. We looked at that yesterday. Look at the monthly chart, so you'll see that we're heading towards this area here where we saw the sell-off in September and October, and that price is 1229. So we're through the 89 yesterday in the monthly chart as we start the new month. You see there in the 30-minute chart, but once we got to that area or a whisker of that monthly resistance there, the market then moving sideways, where it's holding very well above the DP at the moment. In the US dollar, through the 200 MA yesterday, but with some demand, and the market showing a bit more weakness overnight there as well. In the 30-minute chart, sitting at the close, watch yesterday's low. It's going to be very important for the dollar index to hold at this level. Like I say, it'll be looking for some positive news to move to the upside, and also put pressure on the metals prices like silver, which you can see yesterday moving higher as well. Bit of absorption there as it traded through the resistance. And if in the 30-minute chart, you will see that we managed to get through the 2250, and at the moment we're actually holding. But that depends on the data. It won't take a lot to slam it down if the US dollar gets the opportunity to move higher. Gold also through the 200 MA as well at 1800. It's been a while since we've seen this. And in the 30-minute chart, you can see there that the market's sitting at the moment at the 1800 level. Needs to get through yesterday's high in order to move higher there. Just a quick look at the gold-silver ratio, and you will see this is the lowest it's been for some time. Let me just switch this to a weekly chart. It's been since we got to this level. Yes, April 20. So this earlier part of the year, we were down at this sort of level. So it's been a moment or two since we got down to there. And certainly a lot different than the 96 that we saw recently. So a good drop in the gold-silver ratio. Silver certainly moving quite well there. But like I say, don't hold your breath. They do like to slam this one once it starts to move to the upside, as we've seen for the last, I don't know, let's try 15 years to start with. So there we go. Right, so today's NFP numbers, see what the market does when these come out at 1:30. Goodness knows what it's going to do beforehand. Might get a bit of movement for the first hour and then it'll be quiet. As it's a very important number. And also watch for them adjusting that number as well within half an hour of actually releasing the new figure. Okay, that's it for this one. Have a great weekend. And as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.